This was told to me by an old family friend named Nikki. On many occasions when I was a child, she would tell us stories about things that had happened to her over the years, stories that served as life lessons. I've never forgotten one of her stories. Every time something comes up about hitchhiking, I always remember what happened to her. She grew up around the same time as my father, so this was in the early 1980s. She was about 25 years old then. Nikki was one of those truly kind souls, always willing to help someone in need. I can't imagine her being any other way. She was driving toward the city, about 2 hours away. She asked me not to mention the name of the place. She said she saw a man walking along the side of the road. As she approached, he turned around and made the typical hitchhiking gesture. He stuck out his arm and raised his thumb. Nikki stopped and asked if he needed help. She told me the man was very polite and even seemed a bit shy when he asked if she could give him a ride to the city. Nikki opened the passenger door and told him to put his bag on the back seat and fasten his seatbelt. The man was very pleasant for most of the trip. They talked about their lives, their friends, and the news. She felt they were getting along quite well, and even invited him to have dinner with her at a roadside diner about halfway there. The man mentioned that he was short on cash. That's why he had been hitchhiking in the first place, but eventually agreed, and they ate together at the diner. Then they continued their trip. As soon as they reached the city, he thanked her deeply for the ride and the meal. He told her he was heading downtown. Before saying goodbye, Nikki gave him her phone number so he could contact her someday if he ever wanted to. The man took it, smiled warmly, and said goodbye. Nikki drove away feeling good about having done a kind deed. Up to this point, the story doesn't seem strange or disturbing at all, but Nikki's expression would always change when she reached the next part. A week later, she received a phone call from that same man she had picked up. He didn't let her say a single word after greeting her. He told her she should thank God for the excellent upbringing and kindness she had been given, because when he first got into her car, he had planned to rape and murder her. Once they reached the diner, he had planned to steal her car and dump her body in a ditch further down the road. But after seeing how kind and genuinely friendly she was, even inviting him to dinner with a smile, he said he couldn't bring himself to do it. He told her he knew he could never live with himself if he harmed such a kind woman. Before hanging up, he said his final words. "Please, Nikki, please never pick up another stranger asking for a ride on the road." Nikki never heard from him again. When she tried calling back the number, she realized the call had come from a public phone. She learned an important lesson from that experience, and I will always follow